Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give Kohala Yahweh, Bahashim, Hamashiach Yahushua, for giving me the spirit and power to do this lesson, and for giving me the spirit and power to wake up another day to show forth repentance in these last days as we get closer and closer to Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation period. We need to be repenting in these last days. Each and every time you see a flaw within yourself, that should be your primary focus. And you are going to see flaws in yourself each and every day. You're going to see stuff you need to work on. Some things is going to be harder than others, so you're going to always have something to do, and that's a fact. So getting straight into the lesson, because I ain't got that much time. Isaiah chapter 13, we're going to start at verse 11. I, the Lord, will punish the world for its evil and the wicked for their sin. I will crush the arrogance of the proud. Right, predominantly talking about America, because America, their slogan is proud to be an American. And American is founded off of blood, the blood of God's chosen people. So that's pride within itself, even having that slogan, proud to be an American. But it says, and humble the pride of the mighty. I will, and humble the pride of the mighty. I will make people scarcer than gold. Like gold is not easy to find if you really think about it. Uh, you can find fake gold. You can find gold with a lot of zinc and a lot of different unwanted minerals inside of it. But pure gold, like the golden wedge, I think the highest they got is 24K that you can buy. But we know that there's gold that's worth more than that. They just not allowing us to get our hands on it. Straight up. So but you have different, different kinds of gold. You got I think it's 10 karat is the lowest. You got 12, 14, I'm roughly paraphrasing, 18 and 24. 24 is the best. That's supposed to be pure gold, 24 karat. Like I said, there's even better gold out there. You have in the scriptures, I'm gonna read it. It says more rare than the fine gold of Ophir. So when you go and Google the gold of Ophir, it's called they call it mystical gold. And we know Esau, he know where it's at, he know what it looked like, he know, but he's not gonna let us get our hands on it. But the Bible is saying that he's gonna make men more precious than mystical gold. Men are going to be more precious. I will make people scarcer than gold, right? Because the Lord is about to eliminate a lot of people, and we tell people this all the time, week in and week out. On our sit downs, we tell people this, but they don't listen. So they have to be a part of that great slaughter that the Lord is about to start doing, which it already kind of started happening on a low level, and it's going to graduate. It's going to graduate. It's going to graduate, and there's going to be no turning back. Like he says in Deuteronomy 32 and 1 and 2 and Isaiah chapter 55. He said he's going to make a man more precious than fine gold. Right. So when we go from there, making a man more precious than fine gold goes back to Zephaniah chapter 3. And I love bringing this precept out because when you look at a celebrity, you look how valuable he is. He can get his hands on anything he wants. He's tapped in. He got all the money that he want. He got all the women that he want. But one thing about a celebrity, celebrities can't just do whatever they want. They have to be very careful in the decisions that they make. And that's exactly how we have to be being in the truth. We have to be very careful about the decisions we make because we representing the Most High God. And one of his laws is thou shalt not take Yahweh name in vain. Right? That's why we have to be very careful with the decisions we make. Like dealing with women. Just like how celebrities don't just, some of them, but for the most part, real known celebrities, they don't just go sleeping with women, just any kind of woman. They don't do that. And the ones that they do sleep with, these women end up exposing them. But they don't just sleep with any woman. And that's how we have to be. Right? You got to understand how valuable you are. And the time following is going to declare how valuable you really are. How the world is going to become. I seen a brother, he did a video of a dream he had. And he said in his dream, it was about right before Jacob's trouble took place. the world was afraid. They didn't know what the hell was going on. And he was explaining in a dream how people was just coming up, like giving alms and tithing, like while he was at camp. He said he was at camp, and people was just bringing food and money, and they was just dropping everything in front of him. And he was like, "Hey, y'all stop! Y'all stop! We not gonna be able to take all this stuff. Our cars ain't big enough. Y'all stop doing it." And they just kept dropping stuff. I believe those things are gonna be happening, man, because people are gonna be so afraid. They're gonna want to get blessed by the Most High. And guess what? The only thing people know is tithing, due to your false pastors that walk around, shit, that's all they teach to their congregation. It's hooting and hollering, the Holy Spirit, dancing like that, and tithing. And that's it. And we all know that. We all know all that, but that's all the people know, is to get right with God is to throw money in a collection plate. And that's going to be that mentality, and we're going to have to reteach them. Right? And that's going to be part of our glory, right? Because they're going to be like, man, you really understand God. So you really tapped in with God. And this is why it's very important to study each and every day. Study something. It can be, hey man, it can be 15 minutes. Just study something. If you too busy and you got the headphones, listen to the audio Bible. Listen to certain videos that's reading the Bible. Listen to, certain people that's telling you what's going on in the world, man. You have to be tapped in. You got to know what's going on. This is going to show where your faith is too, how much you believe. That's why we go out to the highways and byways more, me and the brothers, because we believe. We really believe. And every time we go out there, you see it. We talk to somebody. And that's what it's about. We want the Yahweh Shah to say, well done, my good and faithful servant. Not depart from me, ye that work iniquity. We don't want him to say that, man. So we're going to do whatever we can. And me being a leader, which we all leaders in the camp, but me being a leader, I got to make sure that happen. We got to make sure that happen, man. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go out to the highways and byways as much as we can. We're going to do our sit downs as much as we can. And when we can't do neither one, hey, we're going to post little stuff. Might post scriptures, might post videos, of give you a little bit of edification here and there. You're going to learn something out of the videos we post. Even if it's just a little bit. That's my slogan. Lord willing, you was edified, even if it's just a little bit. Because sometimes I'll watch the elders video, sometimes I'll watch another brother's video, and I only get edified a little bit. Straight up. It'd be something in that video I don't know that I needed to hear, or that I could use in my lesson, or whatever the case is. I don't ever think that, you know too much about faith. You know too much about the basic lessons being in the ministry. I don't ever think like that. So this is Zephaniah chapter 3, and I'm gonna start at 14. He says, "Sing, O daughter of Zion, shout, O Israel, be glad and rejoice with all thine heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. The Lord hath taken away thy judgments, he has cast out thine enemy." Right? It says, "The King of Israel, even the Lord, is in the midst of thee. Thou shalt not see evil any more." Now we know this ain't talking about during the time of Zephaniah. During the time of Zephaniah is the same as Jeremiah. I believe Zephaniah was Jeremiah's teacher. He was teaching Jeremiah. I believe it was Jeremiah or Isaiah, but I think it was Jeremiah. When I was doing my research, it was Jeremiah. So Zephaniah was Jeremiah's teacher, which was in a Babylonian captivity, meaning, after Babylon, here come Assyria. After Syria, here come Persian and Mede. After that, here come Greek, Rome. So how did this make sense in that time frame? It doesn't. It's not talking about that time frame. It's talking about the times that we're coming upon right now. It says, "In that day it shall be said to Jerusalem." See, in that day wasn't the time frame they was living in now. It says, "In that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, fear thou not, and to Zion, let not thine hands be slack. The Lord thy God in the midst of thee is the mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. See, when we see scriptures like this, we really overlook them and don't understand how the Most High God wants to bless us. He wants to give us these things. You know, I'd be meditating on it. I'd be like, man, the scripture says that our sins withhold good things from us. We understand that. So a lot of the times when your prayers ain't getting answered, it ain't that the Most High don't want to bless you. It's that it's just he's righteous in all his works. So if he says, uh, your wife is the weaker vessel, make sure that you do right by her, that your prayers be not hindered. And that's just what it is, because it's written. So, you know, if you're having these problems with your wife and your prayers is not getting answered, that's most likely what's going on. It's always stuff that we're doing. It's never the Most High don't want to bless us because he mad at us. The Most High don't want to bless us because he don't like the way you look. He don't like that you put on orange today. That's not how the Most High God operates. He actually loves us as a people, man. He loves you. Don't ever think otherwise. The only people he don't love, of course, in the scriptures, is the people that sin, willfully sin. We're not talking about sins here and there. We're talking about willfully sinning. Those are the people that God hates, whether you want to believe that or not. And if you are willfully sinning, and a lot of you are willfully sinning, a lot of you don't even know that one of the most sacred feast days is coming up, right? A holy convocation, like we always say, holy, separate convocation gathering. So who are you gathering with? What you gonna say? You don't have nobody to gather with? Come on, man. There's camps in your city. There's camps in your town. There's camps in your state. Stop playing. The choice is yours. You want a willful sin, or you want to do everything you can to keep the Most High, uphold the Most High's law, statutes, commandments. The choice is yours, man. So I'm gonna keep reading. All right, so I'm gonna keep reading. It says, "He will save; he will rejoice over thee with joy." When the Most High God eventually, when he started raining blessings on us, it said that he's gonna do it with joy. And you know what that made me? I'm gonna have to be late because I want this lesson to make sense. When you go to 2nd Esdras 13, I'm gonna be a little late, but it's okay. 2nd Esdras chapter 13. The Most High said he was gonna rejoice over us with joy. And this is talking about even in the day of our affliction. Like, let's be honest, the majority of us, we're not hurting for anything. We got everything we need. Some things we want, but we got everything we need. Beginning with your the Most High God and his son Yahushua, and follows right after that is your health. You have everything you need starting off with those. The material shit come later. But a lot of brothers, they'll be like, well, I don't have everything I need. You got to understand too, you might be going through a proven process right now with the Most High. Because I had to go through it. The brothers that taught me, I watched them go through it. You got to go through a proven process where the Most High God will take certain stuff away from you. He allows certain stuff to happen to you. This, that, this, that, this, that. To see what you're about. See if you're gonna stand on, the foundation of him and his son. But you're gonna eventually everything is gonna balance out, and you're gonna have everything you need. Really, you have everything you need, believing in Yahweh Shah, but you get what I'm saying. So when you go to 2nd Ezra chapter 13, and when you start at let me see. It says this is 2nd Ezra 13 and 15. He said, "Now please," this is in a GNT. "Now please show me the meaning of this dream also. I have been thinking how terrible it will be for those people who will be living in those days." It's talking about the last days, the days we're rapidly approaching. It's going to be terrible for these people. And we're passionately telling them.
The same thing over and over. Please listen to us. Please listen to us. But what it says, they turned the shoulder. What it says in Zechariah, and they made their heart as flint. And flint is a hard ass stone, meaning they don't want to hear you. They hard headed. But it says, but how much? It says, I'm gonna read it again. I have been thinking how terrible it will be for the people who will be living in those days, but how much worse for those who do not survive. It's going to be terrible for the people that's living in those days, but it's going to be even worse for the people who don't survive. It's going to explain. It says, they will be in great sorrow because they will not enjoy any of the pleasures reserved for the last days. You see that? So when the Most High starts reigning over us with joy, it's not going to start when we get in the wilderness or in the kingdom of heaven. It's going to start in a time of affliction also. When Jacob's trouble happened, the Most High going to be taking care of us. That's what he told us, 2nd Ezra chapter 2 and 26. He made a promise to the women and the children. He says, I'm going to take care of you. My hand shall cover these, that thy children shall not see hail. He told the woman, don't be sorrowful. He told them to be joyful, rejoice, because he's going to take care of us. And then Sirach 2 and 10, the Most High said, he said through Sirach, the spirit of Sirach, he said, whoever put their trust in me is one and was confounded. No one. When we read the scriptures, nobody, the Most High never failed none of these men that called upon him in truth and sincerity. And it's the same way with us. When we call on the Most High with truth and sincerity, the scriptures are written beforehand, was written for our learning. And you see, we be faithful unto death, and the Lord will fight for us. I mean, this is the times we coming on. This is the kind of stuff right here. What I'm explaining is wisdom and knowledge is the stability of thy time. And in those days, you're going to be meditating on the scriptures I just quoted, and everything is going to be okay. You're going to realize that. You're going to be like, you know what? What am I tripping about? I know the Most High going to feed us. I know the Most High going to do this. I know the Most High going to do that. That's the mentality we got to have. But it says they will be in great sorrow because they will not enjoy. It says they will not enjoy. Enjoy. The same joy the Most High going to have reigning over us. He's going to reign over us with joy. Enjoy any of the pleasures reserved for the last days. You see that? There's pleasures coming in a time of affliction. It's going to be the time of affliction, but it's going to be the time of pleasures too. You know why? Because the Jacob's trouble is not for you. Jacob's trouble is for 2/3 of Jacob, the ones that do not want to come back to the Most High God and his son, under his son, Yahushua HaMashiach. That's who Jacob's trouble is for. And he going to use Esau to spank the hell out of Jacob. Jacob going to be getting it in here and there, but for the most part, Jacob going to get his ass spanked. That's how the Lord spanks our ass, by sending nations against us. So it says, but how terrible also for those who do survive. You see that? It's going to be some terrible times, but it's going to be times of pleasures too, where we really see miracles of the Most High again. Now we see miracles, according to your faith. Do you see miracles? Because I see them. The Most High answers me when I pray to him. When I'm in a tight spot, the Most High comes through and he make it happen for me. The Most High even put me in a situation where I can't do nothing about it, because the Most High is simply like, watch this, or he'll make my plan fail, and then he'll come with a whole nother plan and be like, I got you. Don't look at it like, my plan failed, whatever, I guess the Most High ain't with me. Nah, the Most High might be trying to show you, I got another plan for you. But it's all according to your faith, man, at the end of the day. So going back to Zephaniah 3, he says, he 17, the Lord thy God in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save, he will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. I will gather them that are sorrowful to the solemn assembly. The 2/3 of our people are not sorrowful, right? It's the ones that sorrowful is them like, man, what the fuck is going on out here? Why is it so bad? Why is our women like this? Why is the men hate each other? Why we can't come together and start our own stuff? Why we can't do this and that and this? And they're sorrowful about it. They're ashamed to be calling these people their people. He said he's going to gather them to the solemn assembly. We're coming up on a solemn assembly right now, Passover, next month. That's a solemn assembly, a sacred assembly. So these men and their families that's attending these Passovers, these solemn assemblies, he's talking to them. He's not going to make the whole nation of Israel famous, because a lot of Israel got to die, man. So let's continue. It says, I will gather them that are sorrowful to the solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden. It says, behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee. I will undo all that afflict all, because Esau has if you don't know what vice grips are, vice grips is those pliers where you like clamp them and it stays clamped and there's no coming off. It's not coming off unless you hit that little button and you pull it apart. That's how Esau is with the nation of Israel. He has clamps on us. Our people don't want to go nowhere. That neither can they. They can't go nowhere. Where they gonna go? That's why Yahweh has to send Yahweh Shai to come pry us out of his hands and the rest of the nations, right? Beauty supplies, you go to the Koreans, or you might go to Moab too. You know, Moab is starting to own a lot more clothing stores that they know Jake, that's appealing to Jake, right? The Arabs is, in the stores selling the crack pipes and the cigarettes and, single cigarettes and all, they just all got their hands inside of this, which goes back to Psalms 83. Things that destroys us. Esau is the head honcho, the tabernacles of Edom, the home of Edom. He the one that's, the housing, Section 8, the food stamps. He on the front line when it comes to oppressing us. But the Most High said he's going to undo all of that. Right? Esau knows that one out of every four child is being taken advantage of. Esau knows one out of 8 little girls is being taken advantage of. Esau knows this already. Esau knows the statistics. I seen I was looking up the other day too that, man, they said 840,000 children are being kidnapped every year. 840,000 children are being kidnapped every year. That's crazy, man. And Esau, that's a million children a year being kidnapped and don't know what's going on with them. Let me get 1 second. Hello? All right, cool. That was my boss. He kept calling. I had to answer it. But going back to my point, 840,000 children is kidnapped a year. And this actually goes against them because you are the people that's claiming to be in control of everything. So it's really condemning you. So, like, where are these children going? Here it is, when something happened overseas and a soldier get killed, they find out who it is quick, real quick. Can't nobody hide from America in their eyes. But here it is, these children coming up missing and nobody can't find them. That's crazy, man. But these are the kind of things that the Lord is going to undo, because the majority of these children is Israelites. It says, behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her, Israel, that halted, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame. Praise and fame. Fame is short for famous. Let's see what the word famous goes into. The word famous originates famosus. meaning much talked of, renowned, ultimately stemming fame, reputation. Fame. It says being well known. It says celebrated in public, report, renowned, well known, notorious, to speak well of, uh, remark likely to prove fatally wrong. So that's the other side of famous. It says with celebrity. So you get it. The biggest word was well known. We're going to be well known according to what the Most High God told us. He said we was going to be well known, right? And this is what we're waiting on. And honestly, it's already happening because we have the answers on what's going on in the earth. And as the earth get worse and worse and worse, we're the only ones that's going to be able to answer these questions. Because you know what? Esau is hiding the answers. Esau is hiding the facts. Esau's not telling the people what's going on. He's hiding it. So this is going to make us public enemy number one in the eyes of the elites and the politicians. But the people that really want to know what's going on, we're going to be famous. So study up, like really, real study, man. Set boundaries. I'm gonna study an hour a day. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna study for an hour each day. Each day, an hour is only 4% of your day. So an hour a day ain't nothing. Study every day for an hour, man, and make sure you meditate on it all the way up until you're ready to study something else. You might have to go back and read it, study the same things again, so you can make sure it's locked in tight. Because pretty soon you're gonna have to answer questions for people, and you need to have that answers because that's gonna be part of your royalty, part of your who you are. You being that person that's being looked at as famous because you got all the answers. That's what they say to us on the highways and by like, damn, bro, y'all, like every time I ask a question, y'all go straight to the Bible. We hear that all the time. Every time y'all go straight to the Bible and y'all answer it. Yeah. That's just what's gonna make us famous. And not only that, bro, this is what the creator of heaven and earth said. God Almighty Yahweh, this is what he said. So the fame is gonna go, it's gonna be crazy, man. But it also says, praise, I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. And we was put to shame here in America. It says, at that time I will bring you again, even in the time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and praise among all people of the earth. When I turn back your captivity before your eyes, said the Lord. When it says said the Lord, that's like going and getting a paper notarized. Clack, clack. He's stamping his name on it. He's promising us when it says said the Lord. Said the Lord is very important. When you see that, he's stamping his name. And that's what we want to see, said the Lord. Straight up. So from there, let's go to Zechariah, since we already over here. Zechariah 8 and 23. This is a future prophecy also. It says, thus said the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass. Talking about, man, they keep talking about blizzards coming again, tornado blizzards. And it's just like, man, you can tell Esau, he got his hands in all this too, man. They talking about snowing again, and it's supposed to be spring almost. It's about to be spring. And here it is. They talking about snow. Because Esau, he trying to confuse everybody. He trying to change times and laws. Right? They was just trying to lock in that daylight savings to where everything stayed the same. Right? But it says, so that means time wouldn't go up an hour. That's what they was trying to do. They was trying to stop that. But it says, Zechariah 8 and 23, thus said the Lord of hosts. See? Thus said the Lord of hosts. And he's stamping his name already. In those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew. Are you a Jew? You might be Northern Kingdom, right? It says, take hold out of everyone that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you. For we have heard that God is with you. And they've heard God is with you simply by the things that they heard, and they came and asked questions, or they just came and asked questions, or they seen you before teaching, or whatever the case is. People are actually going to be looking for us like that, like how they would look for a celebrity. You can say whatever you want, but that day is coming. Even in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, when they can't find us, they're going to say, this was he who we sometimes had in derision. We counted our lives this and that. But they're going to realize and come to terms that the life that they was living was shit. And that's what they're going to realize too, that that's what we've been trying to tell them. And it's going to make them feel sorrowful, and they're going to feel beneath us. And they're going to, some of them is going to be doing what we tell them to do, right? When it comes to the, of course, the word of God, they're going to be doing what we instructed them to do according to the Bible. But the Bible does talk about a lot of people, even after he sent the plagues, is not going to repent. So, and that's the majority of our people. But the Lord is, there's still people that he's going to save, man, in the 12th hour. It says, take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, and saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that God is with you. Straight up. So you have to be studied in order for somebody to say that about you. We have heard that God is with you. You got to be studied up. You got to make sure you're doing something. Now, from there, Jeremiah 16 and 19, it says, O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction. Remember, we just read in Zephaniah 3, where he says that at that time, he's going to begin to undo all that afflict us. So it's the same thing. In the day of our affliction, right here, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth. So the Gentiles, this is not talking about Israelites that scattered in other lands. This is talking about actual Gentiles, actual heathens, pagans, because that's another word for Gentiles. That's another word for heathen is pagans. That's what I like to call them too. I'm like, nah, you a pagan. They don't like that word, but I love that word. And that's what they're going to be called, pagans. So it says, and shall say, it says, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. There is no profit that the Most High God gave a certain people an heritage, and he gave them a land. He gave them, let's just say heritage, all right, an inheritance. And you got a fake ass people coming out of nowhere saying, nah, we the people. Don't you think the Lord is going to expose that eventually? He gave a certain people that heritage, and he said he's sown his law in them. So it's going to be without a shadow of a doubt. It's going to manifest through those people. Now, I'll give you an example. Philadelphia. You don't know, I know everybody know about Philadelphia, but if you notice, those brothers say Ak. And I'm talking about the world, like Beanie Siegel, Jay-Z, and all them, bro, they say Ak, or they say Aki. They're using Hebrew words and don't even know what they're doing. Straight up. The fact that we love chicken. That's actually a joke amongst the nations. That's why you see Arabs in their stores cooking chicken. Koreans in their stores cooking chicken. Because they know we love that. But they make jokes. Niggas don't know. They like grape soda, watermelon, and chicken. You give them that, they'll sit down somewhere. Or you give them that, they'll show up. But that's the truth, though. Grapes is a big thing in our nation, too. Grape juice, grape soda is big because grapes was always big in our nation. Watermelon, chicken. Now, we used to make fried lamb, but into 2025, it's been a lot advanced. We fried chicken. But nobody like or cook fried chicken like us. These are the kind of things that can prove that we are the nation of Israel, right? And that's just two. So it says they're gonna come from the ends of the earth and say, surely our fathers have inherited lies and things therein wherein there is no profit. And this is their descendants. They're going to be angry at their fathers on what they did. Some of them are today. They're going to be angry at what their fathers did, and they're going to be trying to come back, bending the knee, straight up. And as they're doing that, you have matter of fact, look, as they're doing that, you're gonna have a lot of our people that's gonna come to us too, trying to seek salvation, trying to seek the answers, trying to get oil in their lamps. And a lot of them aren't gonna get it, but guess what? A lot of women are. I believe a lot of women are gonna get saved in that time, and not men, simply because men are leaders and they the ones that's supposed to have their head on a swivel, making sure that their house is in order. Women are followers. They are designed to be followers. Women are created to be followers. Women are not leaders, they're followers. They're designed to be like that. So how can you blame the women on how they acting today? I'm gonna say a little bit. Because a lot of the times, yeah, because they choose to be like that. But ultimately, we taught the women to act the way they act today. We taught them that, with the help of Esau. Esau taught us to act like that. We taught our women to act like that. Let's say that. So, I'll give 1 second. Oops. So this is Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And I said that to say a lot of women are going to be saved in that day simply because they was never designed to be leaders. They was designed to be followers, and they're only following what they've been taught. That's why the Bible tell you not to teach an evil lesson to your wife. It says, in that day, so few men will be left. Remember, we just read in Isaiah chapter 13 also, it said that men are going to be more scarce than fine gold, the golden wedge of Ophir. Men's, they're going to be scarce. Like, you can't just go and find the gold of Ophir. Esau got that stuff tucked away, hidden. And that's how the Most High going to have us, tucked away, hidden. But it says, in that day, so few men will be left that 7 women will fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. We will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take your name, so we don't be mocked as old maids. See, then in that day, they're going to understand. They're going to understand in that day. And to be truth be told, this is where it's going to be slim picking for the men. Like, nah, I don't want her. I don't want her. I want her. Matter of fact, I want both of those. It's gonna be your time to shine. Hey, that's what celebrities get to do. So celebrities can pick through any women in the crowd. He'll be like, every woman in the middle right there, all y'all get up on the stage. And they gonna stampede to get on that stage. And they gonna do whatever he tell them to do. They're not gonna be rebellious on the stage. They gonna do whatever he tell. If he say, all y'all get on your knees right now, they gonna do it. That's just how it works. That's what happens when you're famous. And the Lord said he was going to make us famous, man. And Isaiah 4 and 1 is an example of us being famous. Just one example. The most ultimate glory of being famous, of being an Israelite, is we have the words of the living God. Straight up. We have the words of the living God. Now, when you go to Isaiah, let's go back to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 66. Isaiah chapter 66 and 19. He says, and I will set a sign among them, and I will send those that escape of them unto the nations. So the ones that escape is the ones that's coming out of America. Those are the ones that escape. America is the big ass stage. It's the stage. It's the primary place to be destroyed and for the Israelites to be saved out of. The primary place. Right? And there's many passages that back me up on that. So the ones that escape is talking about the ones that was in America. He's gonna gather Abaratazama, say us. He's gonna take us and he's gonna set us in the wilderness. And in the wilderness, he's gonna send us out to the nations to go save our people. And I believe this is where the majority of Isaiah 4 and 1 is gonna come in. Women flocking to us, saying, we will go with you. We got everything we need. Just let us be your wife. when we go through them nations, and it's going to name the nations, it says, and I will set a sign among them, and I will send those that escape of them unto the nations, to Tarshish, Pool, and Lud, that draw the bow, to Tabal, Javan, to the isles afar off. Isles go back to the isles of the Gentiles in Genesis chapter 10. So he's summing it up like, man, all them nations, the isles of the Gentiles. It says, that have not heard my fame, neither, and the fame is how he delivered the Israelites out of Egypt. It says, and they, modern, ancient and modern, and they shall declare my glory among the Gentiles, and they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto the Lord out of all nations, upon horses, and in chariots, and in litters, and upon mules, and upon swift beasts, to my holy mountain Jerusalem, said the Lord, as the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel into the house of the Lord. So when everything is established, when I say everything established, when we get taken out of this place and we get taken, to the wilderness, and we get to establishing everything, the Lord said he's going to send men out to these nations, and we're going to be pillaging. We're going to be putting shit to death. We're going to be taking their women. We're going to be taking their children as captives. We're going to be taking the men as captives too. This is where the majority of this is going to take place. I believe starting in the wilderness, when we get in the wilderness. Straight up. And last but not least, Jeremiah. We read a lot of Jeremiah and Isaiah. Jeremiah 49, and I'm going to start at 10, right? It says, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secrets, his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. And this is talking about physically, and it's also talking about like he can't hide the things that he's been doing on the earth. It says his seed is spoiled. You can go Google it right now. Europeans are doing a big ass study right now and trying to understand why white men are having so much stillborns. And I've seen a compilation of videos of white women. They're saying literally want to have a black child. They want to have a child by a black man. And they say one of the reasons was they said because white men have a lot of stillborns. Straight up. That was one of the reasons. And that's a fact. That's why white men, they really gave up on having children. Or they don't have children today in their late 30s. Jake, Issachar, hey, from Judah all the way down to Zebulun, Gad, bro, we have children at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 years old. That's when we start having children. Bro, I know a man that got 21 children. 21. And he take care of all of them. He goes from house to house, baby mama to baby mama, making sure his kids are straight. So it says, his seed is spoiled and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Leave thy fatherless children. Leave thy fatherless children. I will preserve them alive, and thy widows shall trust in me. So when the Lord started knocking off Esau, because this passage is talking about Esau. When the Lord started knocking off Esau, he's going to reserve the children and the women. He's going to reserve the women for us. Now, a lot of people, we're not going to have to do what Esau did to our women. Esau literally had to take our women. And you hear him screaming in the barn, telling them, no, stop. And you hear glass breaking and all this shit. No, their women love us. Their women love us. We can't get the white. Like, you'll be sitting there doing some work or something, and you will look up and it's a white woman just staring at you. And you know what she's thinking. Let's be real here. We know exactly what she's thinking. She want you bad. She heard too many stories. Hey, she didn't seen too many videos, if you know what I mean. And she want that. Straight up. They are infatuated with us, man. And I'm saying that through experience. They are infatuated with us. But it also says, thy widow's gonna trust in the Most High God. It says, for thus said the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Question mark. thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. So even though you wasn't in that time frame, you're still going to get punished for what your forefathers did. It says, I think that was it. All I wanted. Was that all I wanted? Yeah, that's all I wanted out of that. I even forgot the point I was getting out of it. Oh, yeah, it was the children and the widows. So understand, there's coming a time where wisdom got to be the stability of our time, but it's also gonna show, it's gonna go into your fame, how famous you are, the questions you can answer, you know, all of that, man. It's all going into one big pot of glory for the nation of Israel. The Most High is gonna deliver us, and He's gonna give us phase and prime in the land we was held captive. So until next time, I say shalom.